30.
We've told you stories about it time and time again. Oregon's infrastructure is aging. Turns out Oregon State Penitentiary is no exception. That's why our news partners up in Portland went to the state penitentiary in Salem to examine the issues at hand and push the overhaul the facility. I went through it all to make sense of what they learned for you.
It just feels like a place that is more punitive than restorative. And we want our correctional environment to be a place where people heal from the trauma that they've had, where they have systems of accountability in place that lead to better outcomes.
That's former Multnomah County Sheriff and current head of the Oregon Department of Corrections, Mike Reese. The goal he just described shouldn't be a shocking revelation. It's the purpose of any corrective institution. Reese has spent a year as the head of the DOC, and when he first took the position in all 12 of their institutions, Oregon State Penitentiary stood out, and not for good reasons.
Earlier this summer, when it was over 100 degrees, walked up to the top floor. It's oppressive.
The state penitentiary's Echo Block doesn't have air conditioners or elevators. Corrections officials say neither would work in that part of the concrete prison that was mostly built in the 1930s, nearly 100 years ago. This is just one of the issues that need fixing at the state's only maximum security prison. It houses 1,800 inmates and about 460 staff members work there. DOC leaders now have a big ask for state lawmakers. Give them funding to build a new state prison.
I think this is the top priority for me in terms of looking at that replacement or remodel. I think it's time that we really have a good hard look at this institution and decide if it's the right place for us to house adults in custody, and is it also helping lead to better outcomes, or is the institution itself a barrier to a progressive correctional facility?
The DOC estimates it would cost $624 million to replace the state penitentiary. The current facility already has a backlog of $110 million in deferred maintenance requests and tens of millions more for other needs. Before anything changes, the DOC wants a feasibility study to figure out how much all of this would cost. Senator Janine Solman co-chairs the Ways and Means Public Safety Subcommittee here in Oregon. It plays a big role in recommending big capital investments. She knows a new state prison isn't that high on her docket of priorities, but agrees a study is the right place to start.
How much money do you continue putting into a facility, an aging facility? It can't be something that we can continue to ignore because it will go away. It only gets more expensive.
There are other concerns here at play, too. The state penitentiary has an aging population on top of an aging infrastructure, and changes need to be made to meet those needs. The area for people with behavioral or mental health issues is in dire need of an overhaul as well. It's all reflective of a facility built in a different time that doesn't align with a modern-day outlook on corrections. But officials are adamant this is something important we need to address before it becomes a bigger problem. One idea is to use the 200 acres already owned by the DOC, which they say could bring a slew of benefits like mixed-use development and housing. Reporting in Eugene, Jennifer Singh, KEZI 9 News.